Okay, so let's talk about AI. The kind of powerful, agentic AI that can act on its own, it's literally everywhere right now, and for good reason. Industries are racing to use it to make a real impact. But here's the thing, there's a catch, and it's a big one. It all boils down to one single, really critical question.
No, really, think about it. If an AI is making a call about your health or your finances, even your safety, how can you possibly get on board if you can't trust its reasoning? And that right there is the heart of what we're going to unpack today.
You see, as these AI systems get smarter and more powerful, they also get way more complex. We can see the data we put in, and we can see the answers that pop out, but that whole process in the middle, a lot of the time, it's a total mystery. It's what we call a black box.
All right, so let's really dive into this black box problem. This isn't just some techie puzzle for engineers to solve. Nope, it's a fundamental barrier that's stopping us from really trusting and adopting this tech everywhere. So what exactly do we mean when we say an AI is a black box?
Basically, it means the algorithm does its magic, right? But we can't follow its logic. We can't see the steps it took. It's kind of like having a brilliant partner who just gives you the answer but never shows their work. And in really high-stakes situations, a just trust me attitude, well, that's just not going to cut it. Let's look at a few examples where this gets real fast. So, picture this. An AI recommends a specific medical treatment. A doctor, they have to understand why. Why that treatment? Why not another one? We're talking about people's lives here. Understanding the reasoning behind a diagnosis isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely non-negotiable.
Or hey, how about something like getting a loan? If an AI turns down your application, you have a right to know the reason, don't you? Was it your credit score, your income, something else? Without that kind of transparency, there's no way to make sure the system is fair or to fix mistakes when they happen.
And this one is huge. A self-driving car suddenly slams on its brakes. We need to know exactly why it did that. Was there a pedestrian we didn't see? A sensor glitch? Explainability here is literally the foundation of safety and reliability on our roads.
So, okay, we've got this black box problem popping up in healthcare, finance, transportation, you name it. But the good news is there's a key to unlock it. And that's where Explainable AI, or XAI, steps into the spotlight. It's designed to crack that box wide open.
Now, XAI isn't just one magic button. Think of it more like a whole set of processes and methods all aimed at one single goal, making an AI's decisions understandable to us humans. It lets us peek inside the machine so we can actually comprehend and trust what it's telling us. So, how does it actually do that?
All right, now for the really cool part. To get a handle on how XAI works, we're going to use an analogy. Let's stop thinking like programmers for a second and start thinking like detectives.
That's right. The black box, that's our mystery. And XAI, that's the detective's toolkit for cracking the case. And just like any good detective, XAI follows a clear process. It really boils down to 3 core steps.
First up, a detective has to be good at their job, right? They need to identify the correct culprit. In XAI terms, that's prediction accuracy. Then they have to build their case. They gather clues, follow the evidence. That's traceability. And finally, they can't just point and say they did it. They have to present the case, showing everyone how the pieces fit together. And that's decision understanding. And here you can see just how perfectly this detective analogy lines up with the tech. Prediction accuracy makes sure the AI gets the right answer. Traceability proves it used the right evidence to get there. And decision understanding lets it present a clear, convincing case. You need all 3 working together to build a result that we can actually, genuinely trust. Okay, so we've cracked the case, we've opened the black box, so what? What's the big payoff for all this detective work? Well, let me tell you, the benefits are huge. Not just for the folks building the AI, but for all of us who end up relying on its decisions. First and foremost, it builds trust and confidence. When you get how a model works, you can evaluate it better and, actually put it to work faster. Second, it cuts down on risk. Think about regulatory compliance and governance. Having transparent models is a total game changer. And finally, it gets you results faster. When you can see what's going on under the hood, you can monitor, manage, and optimize your AI systems way more effectively. Now, don't get me wrong, XAI is incredibly powerful stuff. But the story doesn't end here. The work is far from over. As AI systems continue to get crazier and more complex, our methods for explaining them have to keep up. There are still some pretty big challenges ahead. But here's the way to look at it. These challenges aren't roadblocks, they're opportunities. Big challenges like figuring out how to scale XAI from massive systems or creating tools that non-tech people can use, while solving those problems is exactly what's going to drive the next wave of innovation. It's how we'll end up designing AI systems that are truly accessible and that work for everybody.
And this really gets at something deeper. This isn't just a technical puzzle. It's an ethical one. It's about responsibility. I mean, if an AI is making decisions that impact real people's lives, we have to be able to check its homework. We have to ask, are its decisions fair? Are they unbiased? Do they line up with our values? XAI is what gives us the tools to even begin to answer those huge questions.
And at the end of the day, this is the ultimate goal. We already know how powerful AI can be. We see it every day. But just imagine. Imagine how much more we can do when everyone involved, from the developer to the doctor to the person on the street, can not only understand what's going on, but can also have real trust and confidence in those results. That right there, that's the transparent, trustworthy future that explainable AI is helping us build.